Hi guys, this is Derek from Pacific Coast Auto Japan, and we're looking at this Honda Civic 1500cc engine that was bought from auction and is going to be exported to Canada. Now this one here has a bit of a specialness to it because it has only 15,500 original kilometers, yet the car is a 2002 and so rather old for that low of mileage. Condition of the vehicle inside out is pretty spectacular, so let's have a look. You get a 1500cc Vtec engine. I believe this is different from the Honda Fit engine slightly, but I don't really know it well enough to be certain of it. You do get individual coils per cylinder, fairly narrow valve angle. I guess Honda did that for all of their engines recently. At least from about this era. S2000 was one of the first ones. And yeah, not really much to say here. Oil looks fine, coolant looks fine, everything seems to be in regular condition. Oh, something fun here. Look at this. Hood prop here. Or hood prop here. Look at that. Now I know I've mentioned that before on other videos that we've done, but I just find that so fun and spectacular. I have to mention it every time. Okay, so this one was bought from Honda Auto Auction. We don't buy too many cars from that auction, but they tend to be really good value. They have really limited selection, and so yeah, not too many cars bought from them. And because of that, I don't know the format of this page very well, so let's see what we can do here. So it's a 2002 Civic. They call this a Civic Wagon. Wagon is just the type of car this is in Japanese. This is called Civic Wagon, even though it's not a station wagon. It's just a wagon type car. Whatever. Auction grade 3.5 with an exterior C grade and an interior B grade. I think they were a little bit tough on this, especially the exterior got a C grade because it has paint damage on it. See the P1 and the P2s? And so that means that the paint is faded from this auction. That's what it means. And I'm going to talk a little bit more about that when I do the once around, but let's not forget about that. 15,526 original kilometers, not rolled back, authentic, super low mileage car. Some grandma's car that sat in a forest. And actually the paint had a black sticky substance on so many of the panels. And if you look at the hood here, you can see like wipe marks. It's because I wiped it all off with these exterior panel of car wiping products, and it took me a long time. So there was this weird let's see. The roof I didn't do. There's not very much of it on the roof though. Here. And so it's parked underneath some tree that was shedding its black gunk onto the car. Didn't damage the paint from what I can tell though. Anyways, it has AC, power windows. Where else? I don't know how to read this sheet. Okay, power steering, power windows, ABS, dual airbags. And sales points is one owner here. Okay, and the report here. Headlights are cloudy. And yes, nice and cloudy headlights. Okay, probably this one's a little bit worse. Plastic headlights get cloudy like crazy these days, so everybody knows about that. They can be restored. They're not damaged that much. Exterior has slight scratches in various places. Interior is slightly dirty. Pillar trim is scratched. Exterior has paint fade. Exterior has sticky substance on it. Wheel covers are paint peeling off of them. And if you look at the body here, the only damage other than the paint is a B1 on the top, and that's a dent, and an A2 on the front, and that's a scratch. I'll show you those ones now, otherwise I'm probably going to forget to show you. So the A2 is down here. Pretty big scratch actually, but it curves underneath here, and so it's not that visible as you can see from stand up. And then the B1, really odd place for a dent, up here. And the paint's chipped a bit there. Okay, so let's do once around the vehicle now. Check out that parking pole. It lets you know where the corner of your car is so that you don't scrape things. Funny thing, they scraped the other side where there is no parking pole. And that is a stock piece on this car. There's a button inside for raising and lowering it. Okay, so about the paint, here's the thing. This paint is a pearl blue paint. Pearl blue is kind of a weird color. Usually pearl stays white in even modern cars because it kind of gives a different color between panels very easily. And I think that's the reason why you don't see it very often. And that is somewhat the case on this car. But when the paint fades, it gets easier to differentiate between the panels and the difference of the color between the panels. And so, here's what I wonder about this paint. If you give the car a polish, will you remove any cloudiness of the clear coat that might be contributing to the difference in color? Because pearl's kind of weird, right? A regular metallic paint has like a hot spot where it's reflective. Take a look here. This section here looks almost white, while this section here is a complete different color because the light reflects on it and the pearl spreads that light out over the entire panel. Now looking at the paint fade in particular, you can see, take a look at the hood and notice where it meets the bumper, how the colors are different there. And then if you go down, you get kind of less of a color difference. So it is a weird one, and I think a polish might do it wonders. I don't know though. We'll see. From afar, you don't really notice it. I didn't notice it until I read it on the sheet. Okay, and I think that's, yeah, the body's great. Wow, wonderful. 15,000 kilometers, whoa. Peeling paint on the wheels. Yeah, wheels are an easy way to make a car look great by changing them into something awesome. Now I want somebody to send me a picture of one of these cars in Canada. I read that Honda actually sold these in Canada. I don't recall ever seeing one there. So I saw lots of sedans, never saw a hatchback. At least that I can remember. Okay, trunk is bigger than a Fit. This is actually a pretty similar car to the Fit. It is bigger, but pretty similar otherwise. Lots and lots of room in the back here. Doors open nice and wide. Seats are pretty standard, but take a look. No hump in the middle. So you have a complete flat floor all the way across. So it's really fun to walk through. Look. Oh, yeah. And see, I couldn't do that with that car. For anyone who's seen the back seats of an RX-7, they're not really like back seats, more like a hole that you sit in. Very funny. Okay, and the front here, fairly perfect. Fairly perfect. Is that oxymoronic? Seats are fairly perfect. Console piece is fairly perfect. And, ooh, I don't know why it does that, because it doesn't really help. Now, having no hump here means that you can walk into the back, and that's the reason why this one goes up, so you can walk yourself into the back. You have to have really skinny legs in order to do that. Thankfully, I do. Not thankfully, this isn't my car, so it doesn't really matter. And stepping over that is just the height that you can't step over it with this low of a roof. Adjustable. It was in the lowest setting, so I'm going to guess a short person was driving it. Funny thing, the steering wheel of the car came, it's a tilt steering, right? It came in the uppermost position possible. It was really weird driving the car until I lowered it to the standard height. But who puts the steering wheel in the tallest position and puts the seatbelt in the lowest position? Oh, just turned the car off with my knee. Not a feature of the car. And then the seats don't raise and lower, so it's just reclining seats. And pop that back down. There we go. So, fender pull. Watch. See you. Come back. It's cool. Alright, so everything works in here. You get a nice modern looking dashboard. Shifter is in the dash. AC works and is strong, which is nice because it's rather hot today. CD player here. Never been smoked in. Ashtrays down here. Ah, nice. Notice the cool socks. They were present. Okay, 15,572 kilometers. Not really going to talk too much about this. The auction sheet said the steering wheel is peeling. I don't see any peeling at all. I think that just the inspector was like, I can't write nothing on this sheet. I got to write something. Okay, so overall looks like a pretty nice vehicle. Cleaning it up will do it some wonders, but already it's looking pretty good. So hope everyone enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.